Do you want to know my secret to keeping rats and mice out of my chicken coop? I figured out how to do it. Do not use these. These do not work. At least not in my experience. I've had these for years in my coop and I thought, wow, these are working. I don't have any rodents. Until I did. And then I realized they don't care about these. Once they know that there's food in your chicken coop, they will literally push this out of their way to get to the chicken feed. This stuff smells fantastic. I love how good it makes my coop smell. I've used different brands, Grandpa Gus, I've used Cabot. They all smell great. They just don't seem to do the trick once the rodents have moved in. I've had rodents make holes in my doors to my chicken coops. I've had rodents make holes through the walls of my chicken coops. I've placed metal barriers over those holes thinking that's going to keep them out. No way! They literally just made holes right next to where the metal was placed. Just a new hole. So then I had to patch up another hole, and it's an ongoing process. And they're just gonna keep on coming in because they know that's where the food is. Okay, so there's poison. You can poison the rats. You can poison the mice. But is that a solution? No, it's not, because you are poisoning these rodents. But if they die in your chicken coop or in your run here, believe it or not, your chickens may actually eat those rodents, and then your chickens will be poisoned. We do not want that. I will not use poison. It's not an option because I cannot risk my chickens getting sick. I don't want to kill the rodents. I think the rodents are very cute. I just don't want them on my property. And I don't want them eating the chicken feed because they eat a lot of chicken feed. Once they come in, there's quite a few, and they will make a large dent in your chicken feed budget. Traditional methods would be to set mouse traps. And you're killing a mouse one at a time. You have to get rid of the dead body, and you have to continuously buy new mouse traps. It's a continuous ongoing battle where you're continually having to set traps and to catch these mice, and more just keep coming and they just keep coming. You're never actually going to solve the problem. You're just limiting your population. You're trying to control the rodent population. But for me, that's not a solution. I want to have the mice and rats, any of the rodents, move out of my coop, away from my property, because they don't have access to food. There's no reason for them to be here if they are not getting food. There's plenty of places for them to find shelter, but they prefer places that offer them food. But it all comes back to the reason why rodents enter your coop is because they're looking for food. And if they find food, they're gonna keep coming back for that food source. So how do you fix this problem? It's simple. If you eliminate their access to food, you eliminate their desire to come to your coop. So how did I do it? My secret is that I took all the food out of my chicken coop except for the feed that's in one particular container. It all comes down to this one type of chicken feeder that allows the chickens access, but not the rodents. Come on, let me show you. Here it is, the Treadle Feeder. This feeder is fantastic. I am so happy that I saved up my chick sale money and I purchased a Treadle Feeder because this thing is so great at keeping rodents out. How this works is you fill this top bin up with 25 pounds of chicken feed. It's a continuous feeder that the food feeds down under here inside. There is this tray here that when a chicken steps on here, it lifts open. This only works with a animal that is the size of a full-grown chicken. Rats, mice, squirrels, chipmunks, they're not heavy enough to open up this Treadle Feeder. I currently am training my chickens, so they are at training week 2, almost to training week 3, and it is going really well. When they're done with their training, this lid will be completely closed, so when they step on it, it'll open up. The mice, they can come in here but they can't figure out how to get to the food because everything is closed. There are little springs that hold the top of the feeder shut on each side. So even if they're trying to wiggle their way in, they can't get in because those springs are tight. And this feeder down below is weighted, so they have to have enough weight to get this latch to open. Is that genius or what? And it totally has worked. The mice that I was seeing in my chicken coop that have made all the holes in my chicken coop have left the building. They are gone. They've realized that they can't get food because every night I am locking this treadle feeder. It's completely locked. Nobody has access, not even the chickens. And during the day, I have it at the setting of their training level. And that training level correlates to how high this opens up for them. At first, my chickens were like, what is this strange thing? But then they quickly got used to it when they realized that I was putting their favorite treats in there to entice them to come over. And I was using a training technique that I've used with them since they were chicks, where I tap on the item I want them to check out and I make a certain noise. So right from baby chicks, I've trained them that if I tap on something and I make that noise, they know to come running because that means they're gonna get a treat, that means they're gonna get food. It's all good things. And so I use that throughout their life to get them to come over to try new things, to train them to do things. And it works really well. So that's how I was able to teach them to use the treadle feeder. And also the fact that their food's in there is a big help. So as you can see, they're standing on there. They are holding that open and they're able to eat right from inside there. With Buff Orpingtons being a large breed, typically 3 or 4 chickens can feed out of the treadle feeder at a time. If you have lots of birds, then you should consider getting more than one. But using just this and not having to buy rat traps, not having to buy mouse traps, not having to buy Cabot or Grandpa Gus packets, in the long run I'm saving a lot of money by not having to continuously deal with a rodent problem. I'm so happy that this has solved the rodent issue. That sure was stressful for me, knowing that at night the rodents were coming in and stealing food and stressing out my chickens. I set up a camera to try to catch what rodents were coming in, but the camera couldn't see at night, so I wasn't catching any of the mice coming in at night. However, I did catch a squirrel coming in during the daytime and helping himself to some food. And so that's when I was like, all right, I really need to change out my feeder, because this feeder that I had before was just completely a buffet for all the rodents coming in, and that didn't work for me. Rodents can carry diseases. I don't want my chickens getting any diseases, so they need to head on somewhere else. So if you have chickens, don't wait until you have a pest problem. Get a treadle feeder now and save yourself the headache and the stress of having rodents moving in, making holes in your coops, because at some point they are going to figure out that there is food in your coop and they are going to move right in. So if you can prevent it from the get-go, that is the best way to go about it. But now I know, and I will continue using the treadle feeder, and I wanted to pass that along to you, so hopefully you can avoid rodent problems in your coop. This is called a Rent-A-Coop treadle feeder. I really like this one. I haven't tried any others, but this one had really good reviews, so I went with this and I'm really happy I did so. If you'd like to check it out, I have a link down below in the description box. If you'd like to see more chicken videos, I have a whole playlist of chicken care videos. You should check it out.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're learning to farm like like me. There is so much more to see. If you're planning on heading elsewhere, Bangayui, yeah, yeah, yeah. This really is the place to be. What are you waiting for? Get your farm on.